Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zachy Hassan, and I'm here with Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zachy?
Hey, we are ready to go back to... Well, actually, no, this is not going back, because it's a different island altogether, Brian.
That's right.
We are going back to the franchise that is Jurassic Park. We are here for The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Yes. Apparently they were going to just call it The Lost World, and Universal was like...
No.
The people could be confused.
They might mistake this for some other franchise with dinosaurs in it.
Right.
Directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Jeff Goldblum.
All right.
What I'm saying is Universal does not give people very much credit.
Thanks, guys.
Now, this is a movie that anyone who listens to the show knows. I am part of what feels like a very select fraternity of people who genuinely enjoys this film. And for the last 23 years, I've lived a very solitary life, comprised of people pointing and laughing at me in the street. Sometimes children throw empty Cracker Jack boxes at me to show their utter contempt because of my adoration for this film. I don't get it, Brian.
Yeah, no, I'm somewhere in the middle, probably. I don't think... I certainly would stick up for it to some degree, but I also don't think it is as great, obviously, as the first one, but also I don't really think it's that great. So, it's somewhere in the middle for me.
There we go. So, folks, if you're looking for incentive to keep listening to this thing until the end, we don't know where this is going to end up. It may end with the movie film dyad finally shattered.
Wouldn't that be... This is the last episode. We don't even know it yet.
We don't even know.
I would love if it just turned into personal insults by the end. Oh
yeah? Well, you smell like cabbage.
What?
Let's see where this goes, is my point. Let's take a short break and then we'll come back and we will watch The Lost World, Jurassic Park. And we are back. So we are queued up. As is often the case with Steven Spielberg films, there is only one cut of this movie, and you are welcome to watch along with us. Or you can just listen and see where things go. We don't know where things will go, like we said. But hey, what the hell? Buckle up. Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts. Perfect.
There you go. So we will go ahead and play on 3. 1, 2, 3, play. Brian, you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
And we are queued up, by the way, folks, to just before the Universal logo.
Yeah, I had a FBI warning and a rating.
Me too.
And then after that, it's... complete black screen, 18 seconds from
and full speed ahead. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, play.
All right. So by the way, as long as we're talking about the Universal logo so much with Darkman, Back to the Future 3,
this seems to be
a
weird pattern that has emerged recently.
Yeah. So this was the first film to use this late 1990s, I guess 1997 Universal logo.
No kidding.
Yeah, that ran, I believe I read it ran till, I see it in the bottom, 1997 copyright. And then it ran till, I think, 2012 or something.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that's Jerry Goldsmith did the music for that, if I understand that correctly?
I didn't know that, but it does sound very Goldsmithy.
Yeah. By the way, so I was just wondering if something was wrong with my movie. This happened to me when I watched this last night, too. It has a really, really long...
Right? We're in black.
Yeah, black screen and then silence for a while.
I actually think that is an appropriate way to start this film because right away, this movie is dark, literally.
It is. It's a dark movie. Darker visually, but also just the way things play out. And it's a lot more aggressive.
It is. Steven Spielberg basically, the sequel only happened because Spielberg, when he made the first one, was like, well, yes, I would absolutely want to make another one. So the book that Michael Crichton wrote happened as a result
Yes.
of Steven Spielberg sort of like elbowing him in the
Yes.
rib cage in Sesame.
I'm so sorry to do this, but just because this, can I point out this shot? When I was watching this last night, the shot starts on the cliffs, goes down. I was like, oh, it seems kind of simple. I don't know why. I was like, simple. And then it pans over the boat, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then these guys with champagne come in, and then it focuses on the back guy with the champagne, and then the front guy with the champagne. I was like, oh, here we go. And then now it pans in. Now we're like dollying over to the guy. Now we got the girl. She's getting a sandwich. I was like, ah, yes, Spielberg.
No, and
I'm
this,
sorry I doubted you, man.
this is the thing, right? And I always point to this because people obviously have mixed opinions of this film. It has a sub 50% or thereabouts rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so it is polarizing. But even quote unquote bad Spielberg,
Yes,
is like a masterclass for anyone else.
I had that feeling. I'll get into it a little bit more later, but the thing is this movie has obviously dino action in it, right? And who else do you want to see dino action from? So even if the story for me doesn't really add up to a whole lot, I mean, if you just want to watch a bunch of awesome set pieces directed by a master, I mean, how can you be upset about that?
Yeah, and it, you talk about awesome set pieces. This opening set piece right here,
Right.
It comes from it's in fact the opening of the book, the Jurassic Park book, not the Lost World.
The first book.
The first book, and they didn't include it in that film because I think the opening of that movie is so amazing. They landed on exactly the right thing. But I think it actually is a perfect introduction to this film because it adds this extra element of danger where, putting children in peril is always a good way to get your spidey sense tingling.
Yeah, I mean, again, speaking of darkness, I mean, we get a kid who gets... I mean, we think she's dead.
We think she's dead, yeah.
At the beginning, and we just find out she's injured. And then later we kill a dog, and like...
Yeah.
This is Spielberg, like, oh yeah, like, he rolls up his sleeves and he's got like a rub-on tattoo this time, and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm doing it.
It's Temple of Doom Spielberg making an encore.
Yeah. Which is interesting, right? Because he had just come back from some. I mean, this is really creepy, by the way, right? These little things.
What a great shot, though. I mean,
you can sort of almost relate to this sort of fear, where you can imagine like a pack of birds that don't move away from you, and you're getting a little unnerved.
Oh, absolutely.
And her just like, okay, that's enough. And
then
these little dinosaurs won't leave her alone.
And
can we talk about this family too? By the way, this
real quick before you even do that, look at the transition from the mom screaming, and then we come in on Goldblum. I mean, it's really funny.
It is funny,
right?
From such a horrifying moment.
You're never going to see Steven Spielberg do a straight up horror movie, and so some of the things he does in this nip right up to the edges of that, and that's what I love about what sort of directed his muse in this film is it was the recognition that, look, this is Jurassic Park. People are going to show up.
Right. Doesn't it look like Eli Roth, by the way, on the right there?
I'll have to take a look.
Anyway.
Next to Jeff Goldblum? Or
he was standing by the door. I don't know if you see him.
Shoot. Maybe it is.
By the way, this guy, I was like, this is like a guy that only exists in movies.
Right?
Like the guy with the hey, you the rah, rah, rah guy, right? Yeah, I knew it was you. So
hey, real quick, Brian, that was Eli Roth.
Oh, was it really?
Yep.
Wow, my Rothy senses are tingling.
He played an unnamed quote subway man in the Lost World Jurassic Park, although he was not credited. So kudos on that. Kudos on the spot.
I never noticed until this viewing. Yeah.
I agree with you. This guy is like
such a movie guy. Like this, yeah. I'm gonna throw something out there. I think this is gonna be a little bit unpopular with some people. I'm not a fan of people in movies making animal noises. So when they're like, yeah, and then this cat came up to me, Row. They're like, yeah. To me, that always feels like some sort of weird actor affectation where they're like, did you see what I added? Did you see what I added to the scene there? I actually made the noise of the animal I was talking about.
That's really.
And I'm
funny.
like, it's like, to me, it feels like almost like a cheap seats laugh or something.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Apologies. I know. I think farts are funny, so you can laugh at me about that.
So by the way, the actor who played the butler that we just saw, that's Ian Abercrombie. He was Mr. Pitt on Seinfeld. But he was also on the TV series Birds of Prey. He was Alfred Pennyworth. Little piece of trivia there. Ariana Richardson and Richards, excuse me. And actually, is it Richards or Richardson? I should know that.
Richards?
I think it's Richards. Yeah, Ariana Richards, who is a painter now, by the way.
Yeah, I saw an interview with her recently, and she's all in on the art.
She's left all this shit behind. Can you blame her?
Although, seeing them, I wouldn't mind if they'd been along for the adventure. They would have brought a little bit more
familiarity.
Familiarity, and I know what they're like, and I wouldn't have minded seeing a bit more of them.
Yeah, and Joe Mazzello actually has talked about how, he had no expectation of being in it, and just this little role was basically like paid for his going to college.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's like, this was like my high school graduation present, and like, it was just nice to see Ariana again, and Goldblum, and Steven, and
Yeah, and there was a moment where they're excited to see each other, these characters, and Goldblum gives him like a real hug. Yeah, and I was like, these guys have been through some stuff together.
Yeah.
They're bonded for life. So
well, and so going back to what I was saying earlier, right? The idea that the sequel only even emerged because Spielberg was nudging Michael Crichton, like, hey, write a sequel. I mean, that says something about the book, which is similar but different in many substantial ways. Foremost among them, the book was meant to be a sequel to the movie, in that Ian Malcolm dies in the book.
Right.
And so they had to sort of retcon his death. And I think honestly, it just speaks to the fact that Crichton was enamored with the way Jeff Goldblum embodied the character, right?
Yeah.
And I've said this before. I said this on our Jurassic commentary for sure, but I had much the same reaction when I watched Jurassic. Like, I loved all the characters, but man, Ian Malcolm became my spirit animal.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this. We talked about this. Yes.
And so when it's like, in the sequel, and Ian Malcolm's the main character, I was like, sign me up, take my money, reserve my seat,
Yeah.
And I actually like that we come in on a Malcolm who is substantially different from the
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
And that's something people, that's an understandable qualm that people have.
Yeah.
But I think you need to have him be, really damaged by this experience that he went through,
That, and also what he went through publicly, right?
Yes.
Where everything he said was basically falsely debunked, and he was made to look like a liar. So he's it's affected him professionally. So he's been through a lot on the island and then afterwards.
And what one critique I've heard is it would be like making Jaws 2 where you focus on Richard Dreyfuss. And my response to that is, I gotta be honest, I would watch that movie.
Me too. I was like,
right?
Yeah, that's fine.
So it might have been better than the Jaws 2 that we got,
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you listen to Spielberg talk about his approach to this is what he says. He's like The Lost World is the first true sequel that he's done.
Right.
Because he doesn't consider the Indiana Jones films sequels.
Right. They're like installments.
They're just different adventures. Whereas he views Jurassic Park as this world where you can carry the world forward, and you can drop in with different characters. And so I mentioned before, I like that we decided to follow Malcolm. I also like that the third installment lets us then dip in with Grant. And I like the variety of it, especially given that now there are more films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you think of that, we were talking off air. I think I've only seen this one all the way through maybe like 4 times or something. Whereas Jurassic Park 1,
oh yeah,
I don't know. We need like an abacus, but but Jurassic Park 3, I think I've only seen maybe twice.
Really?
So I should probably, now that I've seen this, I may as well go ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting because for me, like the first Jurassic is just sort of unimpeachable. It's just a piece of movie magic.
Yep.
And so I look at that as well. That's that shining city on the hill. But I don't view any of the sequels as an affront to that one.
Yeah.
So if I were to make a comparison, you might appreciate this from me. It's like the first Planet of the Apes for me. And then all the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is how I feel about these films because, when the Jurassic World movie started and like a new trailer came out for another one, I was like, like I didn't even need to watch the trailer, honestly. I was like, I'll see it. Yeah. And it's kind of it. Like I do like the, man versus dinosaur continuing harrowing set pieces, but yeah, Jurassic Park is untouchable to me for many, many reasons. I mean, obviously my age and all the special things it's meant to me throughout my life. But and I also do think it stands up, not just with my nostalgia. I mean, I think it is a true classic. And the others, I mean, how can you not have fun with them? But I just don't find, I think even, we'll get into it just a little bit now. I love Malcolm and I like seeing him again, but I just feel like there's like a giddiness in the first movie. And a lot of that comes with any first movie in a series, which is it's all new. Right. And we're being presented with it for the first time. The characters are being presented with it for the first time. And there's like a little bit of a weariness to this. I mean, this movie takes about 30 plus minutes to really kick into gear.
Yeah, I think it's about 25 when we first see our first dinosaur.
Yeah, and it's, which is, I would rather them tell the story the way they want to. And I mean, there's a lot of paperwork, so to speak, that needs to be done with this movie. Like, well, what's going on? Who's that?
Literally and figuratively.
Yes, yeah. But then I also feel like the ensemble doesn't pop like the first ensemble does. Yeah. Where I really enjoy Malcolm, but then, the Julianne Moore character is fine, and Vince Vaughn's fine, and the, Rhino Hunter or whatever he is fine. But I don't, like when I'm with Sam Neill, I'm happy, and the kids, I'm happy. When I'm with Malcolm, I'm happy. When I'm with, whoever else.
Laura Dern.
Or Ellie Sattler. Like it's her adventure at the bunker. Like I'm never wanting to be with anyone else. I'm always happy with who I'm with. Yeah. And I just don't connect with this ensemble.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think, it's... and by the way, speaking of like the characters that we like, I do like that Spielberg included John Hammond in this. We mentioned before. I mean, the Hammond in the book is far more gray. In terms of his morality, and he gets like a Shakespearean demise. Mm-hmm. And the movie Hammond is just he's everybody's grandpa.
Yeah, if I really were to take a step back and think like an adult, I should be very angry with him. Right. But maybe it is that sort of Santa Claus sparkle he seems to have that you're like, geez, come on, guy. Like, I know you mean well, but right. But in this one, he gets redeemed a little bit, right?
It is. I mean, they gave him an arc that flows pretty naturally from where he is at the end of the first film. There's that shot of him, that look of sadness before he gets in the helicopter.
Yes.
And this neatly pays off of that. And by the way, real quick, we get the one of the few instances here of the classic Jurassic Park theme.
Yeah, I was surprised.
It's parceled out very, very judiciously.
Yes.
That said, I absolutely love what John Williams did with the score here.
As always.
I think thematically, the first film is much stronger in terms of the thematic material, but I think in terms of the sort of the variance and like what he does, the types of instrumentation he brings in, he's doing so much interesting stuff in this movie. Like I don't know, I don't know that the Lost World score gets talked about separately as its own thing, but he was really like, I think him and Spielberg both were just sort of following their muse in interesting ways.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I also want to point out something that, good filmmakers do. This scene could have taken place anywhere. Like, this could have been in just an empty warehouse or at an airport or whatever. But he teases that vehicle that's going to become a major set piece later. Yeah. He didn't have to do that, but that's just what filmmakers who are thinking about every detail do. And it's, you gotta love that.
Well, and you're talking about the ensemble. I mean, here it is right here. Nick Van Owen, Vince Vaughn. This is the first time I ever saw Vince Vaughn, by the way, was in this movie.
Yeah. He's only like 26 in this movie. I looked it up. Insane.
Swingers had, I think, just come out.
Yes,
the year before it was 96, I think, right?
And they wanted to use the Jaws theme in it, so Spielberg had to watch it to decide if he wanted to allow that to happen. And he was like, "Who's this Vince Vaughn guy?" And then didn't even make him test for this role. He just cast him.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And Eddie Carr, we just saw, is played by Richard Schiff, who
he's great.
He's good in everything. I mean, if you anything about
he's a good. I like his character in this.
I mean, you have to really like him because his death is probably the only like outright tragedy.
Yes.
In the various dinosaur fatalities, because this poor bastard, he got killed for just trying to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. You know.
Mm-hmm. And he's we'll get to it, but I mean, he could run, and instead he's saving people.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now the daughter here is I feel like she's like the episode 1 Anakin Skywalker in terms of like the level of right. Yeah. People hate her.
I don't think she's terrible. I think when people talk about this movie, the thing they remember is Peter Stormare, or however you say his last name, being attacked by those things and her doing gymnastics. I think that's the thing people remember.
I think you're right.
And we'll get to that. But I don't think she's terrible. I don't think it's her fault. Let's put it that way. She is a bit capital P, capital C, precocious child. But, but I don't dislike her either, though. It's really weird. I don't know.
My reaction is I'm like, she's fine. Like, it's like,
yeah,
like I could give or take, you know what I mean? But I don't think she's doing anything that irrevocably damages my relationship with this film,
I think it's once she is involved, she's fine. I think the way the movie tries to inject her into the story feels a little, I don't know. They just force her to be like Spunky Child.
Well, so worth mentioning here by way of contrast, in the book, the character of Kelly is a kid who stows away onto the island, but she's connected to this other person who ended up getting lost on the island.
Right, which I thought was funny because she's a combination of two characters.
Yeah,
and so they chose a name, and she happened to be African American in the book, and then in this movie, they're like, well, let's like connect her. Let's make it like a parental thing. And they're like, well, but Malcolm and she's African American. They're like, screw it. And they just like, let's just roll with it.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like that they don't even bother trying to explain it.
Same, because we know that there's a lot of past Miss Malcolms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we haven't met any of them.
I was just watching.
It's kind of an interesting unspoken like history to him. Like, well, there's another detail we've learned about him. Like,
there's something right. And my kid. I was, like I said, I just was watching it before recording with you. And my how old is he? 9. He's like, so is she adopted? I'm like, I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I was like, does it matter? Racist? And I like made him feel like.
That's funny.
No, but I kind of like that. It's just like whatever. Like that particular. Does it matter if she's his biological daughter or his adopted daughter? It doesn't matter even a little bit.
Right.
She's a daughter. So like again, obviously, yes, I will absolutely concede the point that the gymnastic thing that happens, which obviously we will point out when it does, it could have been maybe handled slightly less egregiously.
Yeah, that was my feeling too. I was like, there was a way to do this, but then they decided to almost turn it into a spoof film.
Yeah.
Like this was the spoof version of the actual scene that was supposed to be in this movie.
Yeah. There is a lot more humor in this, which I did like as like a slightly, and it's very like, it's very Goldblum-y humor,
Yeah. There's they all like each other in the other movie, so it's like they're in this together sort of humor, and in this one, everyone seems to be kind of at odds with one another. So it's a lot of like little snipier, a little wearier.
I think, fundamentally this gets to the problem that this franchise has had across the board, which is once you are past movie one, where people are like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Oh my God, dinosaurs, right?
Right.
Once you're past that, you have to keep contriving reasons to get people on the island.
Yes.
And so literally, movie 2 and movie 3 are that exact same thing.
Yes.
With the different characters. There is no way in hell am I going to end up on that. I'm on this island now. With both 2 and 3.
Yes.
And that's just the problem, right? And so once they're on the island, you sort of, it's like the plot contrivances become apparent, where it's like, okay, they're going to have a problem getting off the island. Because otherwise you don't have a movie. Otherwise, the first sign of trouble, you hightail it out of there.
Right.
And so with this one, here's just circling back to what I was saying. I like that as much as possible within that framework. Spielberg is kind of like, let's just do something different. Mm-hmm. And we were talking, when you and I talked through Beneath the Planet of the Apes. The problem we had with at least the first third of that movie was it was like the sped up version of the first movie. Mm-hmm. And they don't do that with this movie.
Yeah.
And I like that. We get like the scene where everyone's like, ooh, dinosaurs. But, Goldblum hangs a lampshade on it right away. Mm-hmm. And like right away we get, the roundup scene. Well, that's something totally, like we didn't get anything like that in the first one.
Right.
And it's really cool. Like it's different,
Yeah. And then these are stegosauruses, right?
They are stegosauruses.
I was reading that Spielberg was getting a bunch of letters for kids upset that there were no stegosauruses.
There are no stegosauruses. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. And then also, I think David Koepp mentioned that he got a letter, and it said, as long as you have, what do you want in a sequel? As long as you have the T-Rex and Velociraptor, everything else is fine. But whatever you do, don't have a long, boring part at the beginning that has nothing to do with the island. And so Koepp said he took that letter and hung it up by his writing desk.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Now, this bit right here in the beginning, originally, they were going to go much more practical with the stegosauruses than they ended up. And they built very elaborate stegosaurus rigs. And Spielberg, like, he gets on set, he looks at him, he's like, you know what, let's just do it digitally.
Yeah.
And what's kind of interesting is, the first film, obviously, it was like they were paving the road as they were traveling down it, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of technology. So everything was prevised and storyboard and everything. With this, he was like mapping it out as he went. And so there is much more freedom and flexibility with the shots. There's many more moving cameras and things like that in shots that involve CG elements, because he had already figured out what the technology was capable of.
Right.
And he basically he's like, this is what we're doing. You guys got to figure out how you're going to achieve that.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I kind of forgotten that. This was still relatively new. I mean, Jurassic Park holds up so well. In terms of visual effects, that I've kind of forgotten that this was still sort of the early days, because some of it looks better than others in this.
Yeah.
Most of it looks pretty good, but there are some where you're like, oh, that does look sort of like that early CG where they would probably render it 3 or 4 more times and have a bit more light off of the scales of the, and then we would buy it even more. But yeah, you could tell he went a bit more into the CG in this movie. Like with the Stegosauruses, they look a little soft.
I agree.
That's me being 2020,
That's you just being a little bitch, Brian. No, that first shot where our main characters are sort of small in the foreground.
Yeah.
And like that, yeah, right there, yeah. Now, with Eddie's character, and he's got the rifle, and he explains the lethality of the tranq darts that he's created. I love how they spend so much time getting into, like, you don't want to get shot with this thing, making it that much more sort of, ironic when he meets his end.
Yeah.
Now, Julianne Moore too. I seem to remember reading that Spielberg liked her from like The Fugitive.
Yeah, that's what I read also.
And
she does make an impression in that movie. I mean, I remember her before I even knew who she was.
Yeah.
Just she does a lot with very little screen time in that movie.
And I mean, she does a lot with a little in just about any role,
Yeah, I looked it up. I mean, I think the first I was probably aware of her was Boogie Nights, but she had done plenty before it.
Oh yeah.
But Boogie Nights came out the same year.
Is that right? That is 97? Right. Yeah, 97. Yeah. Wow, holy crap. It's funny because for all the ways I defend this movie, I think the romance between Malcolm and Sarah is like, I mean, they don't have a particularly any chemistry,
Right.
Like I think it's fine, but like, let me put it this way: you see Grant and Ellie, and you buy that they're in love.
Yeah, I totally buy them as a couple.
Right. Whereas these guys, it's like the movie tells us they're a couple.
Right.
So it's not like, no, I reject this premise. It's not that. But it's like, okay, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it, honestly. I mean, that's what I would say is my criticism. Even though it's like, look, I mean, we're showing up for the action. And in the first movie didn't particularly have much of a plot either. I mean, see, this looks a little dodgy.
Yeah.
But, it's really, how do you get them there and then them surviving for, an hour and 45 minutes and then they leave, right? And it's great because it's all discovery for all of us. But in this one, they try really hard to have like a plot and these sort of character relationships. And I don't find any of them particularly interesting. So for me, this movie, I'm just here for the set pieces, honestly. Like anytime they're sort of talking about, like there's a scene where they're in a van later talking about sort of domestic life and their relationship. And I'm like, I'm not feeling this, See,
like I know exactly what you're talking about. I think for me, that scene plays just because these actors are fun to watch.
Yeah.
And to that point, like my feeling about, I think I just backed into the movie from that perspective of like, well, I like Ian Malcolm, so here's another adventure with this character I like.
Yeah.
By the way, this all was shot right here in the Bay Area.
Yeah. Same place they did some of Jedi, right? Return of the Jedi?
That's correct, yeah.
That's cool.
So, I as far as I know, they didn't go back to Hawaii for the second one. I could be wrong about that, but a lot of it, this overgrowth you can see here, this is Bay Area. This is definitely not Hawaii.
And I thought about this during this very shot last night, but there's this long sort of camera on like dolly tracks. And I worked with a guy on a movie once. He was a grip, and he said he worked with Spielberg, and he's like, "Tell me everything." And he was just like, "Ugh." I was like, "What?" And he goes, "There was a scene." He worked on Always. He's like, "There's a scene where Holly Hunter is on a bicycle, and she's riding this bike for like 2 minutes down a hill, and Spielberg wanted it all on dolly track. So we had trucks and trucks of dolly track and set it all up." I was like, "Wow." And he's like, any other director, everyone would be like, "No." But with him, you're like, get the trucks.
Yeah. Who's going to say no to Steven Spielberg, right?
Right.
Speaking of people working with Spielberg, this after Schindler's, this was the second time that Spielberg worked with Janusz Kaminski as his cinematographer, and so there's a definite. I mean, in terms of the aesthetic, it is very different from the first Jurassic.
Yes. Yeah. Who was Dean Cundy or Cundy?
Dean Cundy did the first one, yeah,
Cundy, and Back to the Future, Halloween, all that.
And that said, it is universes removed from where Janusz Kaminski is at now.
Yeah, I was going to point it out with all the Hammond stuff. I forgot to mention it because we were talking, but all the, I wouldn't even call it halo. Well, it is a halo.
Yeah.
All the lights and even the light on the edges of his Malcolm's leather jacket have this crazy, almost kaleidoscope-like light fuzz. That's very Janusz.
But he's still like slightly reserved.
Oh yeah. This was like, I mean, once he gets into, I mean, Catch Me If You Can, which I love. Some of that movie is just like, are we in heaven? Like, what's going on? And then of course Minority Report is just like a crazy gauzy looking movie.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't mind the way this movie looks.
It's this was Spielberg's first movie after Schindler's.
I was wondering that. Yeah. Okay.
So in 1993, both Jurassic and Schindler's come out. Obviously, one ends up becoming the biggest movie of all time. One ends up winning Spielberg his first Oscars.
Yeah.
So kind of a big year.
And isn't that interesting? Because then, well, so many questions. Something I also wanted to bring up, Dean Cundey. Why didn't he work with him again? I'm kind of curious. And then also, he had said when he was doing Schindler's List and he had to do post on Jurassic Park simultaneously, he was like, what am I doing?
Right.
You know, it just made him really disenchanted with Jurassic Park, and they were really, really at odds with each other, you know, in his psyche and emotionally and everything. So it's interesting then, after Schindler's List, they did this, right?
Well,
I kind of wonder what brought him back to this.
I here's what I think. I mean, I think, honestly, the Jaws franchise is what made him come back for this. Because this is Universal,
Yes.
and he saw what Universal did to Jaws without him. And for all of his, proclamations of like, well, I just did my movie and I was done with it, whatever. I mean, even if we make an excuse for the second one, certainly by 3 and 4, they were just wiping their ass with Spielberg's legacy, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so I think he always wanted some kind of involvement, and I think based on the fact that Crichton wrote the sequel at his prodding, I think he felt a certain amount of like responsibility. Like, well, I got us down the road here, so I should get it going.
Yeah, because I had read that he was thinking about possibly just producing.
That's right.
And then, to get ahead of ourselves a little bit, there's this scene at the end where a dinosaur is roaming through San Diego, and apparently that was something they were debating whether or not to include. So if it feels a little tacked on, it's because it was.
It was, yeah. And they had a whole different third act planned.
Yeah, but I guess when it came down to the last minute, Spielberg was like, it's just too fun not to do. So part of me wonders if he still had a little bit of just his youthful sort of adventure filmy things that were just bursting that he had to get out. And that's what this film feels like to me, is he had just like a crap load of fun dinosaur ideas. Well, and tried to construct a movie around them.
I mean, to your point, I mean, I think despite the fact that Schindler's came first and then there was this, so there's like a slight bit of overlap, but I think I point to The Lost World as the end of like 80s era Spielberg.
Absolutely.
And Schindler's is the birth of Papa Spielberg.
Absolutely. And there was an article in the New York Times in 2019, and he was talking about this movie. And he said, as he was, during production, he became increasingly disenchanted with the film. And he said, this is his quote, "I beat myself up, growing more and more impatient with myself. It made me wistful about doing a talking picture, because sometimes I got the feeling I was just making this big silent roar movie. I found myself saying, is that all there is? It's not enough for me."
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So this movie broke Spielberg that we love from the 80s.
Well, but you know the shame of it, Brian? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
If you're because there's this, and then roughly 10 years later, there's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think let's assume
like his heart wasn't in either.
Let's assume he's equally disenchanted by both.
Yeah.
There's more heart in this, in my opinion, than in that one.
I totally agree.
You know.
Totally agree. I mean, we've talked about it in Crystal Skull in the special features on the DVD. He's basically saying he didn't want to make it,
right? Which
is crazy. And by the way, I'm not harping on the movie. I just, it's interesting to get into the head of the guy who made it. And it seems like he was changing. You know, he was in a bit of a metamorphosis, and this is the movie that caught him in that phase.
Yeah. Well, and
that's crazy, by the way. That Humvee just like,
this whole sequence, man, I love it.
Oh, this is great. Yeah.
It's so well done. And this is what I mean about like doing something different, right? I appreciated the fact that they weren't like, all right, let's go back to Isla Nublar and like go run through the same shit all over again.
I completely agree.
You know, I mean, this entire movie, like or dislike, and I'm not going to say it's a patch on the original. They were like, let's advance the world. Mm-hmm. And let's broaden what people can expect from it. And so you get, you know, this whole sequence here.
That's cool.
You get the going through the legs. That was great. And that's an example of Spielberg just like coming up with these moving shots, and then they have to,
Figure it out, invent it. Yeah.
This guy, by the way, he's based on Jack Horner, who's like the dino consultant. He's a famous paleontologist,
Right.
and he was the consultant of these movies. So they basically made him as like a little tip of the hat.
By the way, I had a bad dream about snakes last night and totally forgot why until right now. We'll get to that.
That's really funny.
That's a true story. I was like, why did I have that awful dream about a snake last night?
Oh, that's really funny.
That's I love that.
That's great.
That's that's great. That's like Roger Rabbity in the best possible way.
You should explain in case people are like...
Yeah, meaning there's a CGI dinosaur that just hit a guy who was like by a car door. So obviously that thing's not there, but instead of just making a CGI door break and whatever, they had the car practically break and a guy fly out the other side. So it just absolutely sells the effect of that dinosaur actually being there versus just making the whole like, well, let's just make a CGI car. It's easier.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. The marriage of this, the practical and the CGI is just so great.
Now this whole sequence, I feel it's just as much as sort of being something a little different. It's also a sop to like the toy makers.
Yeah,
right. Or you got to have all the like Dino Hunter gadgets or whatever.
Yes, the cars. Yes. Oh, good call. Yeah, and all the different species of dinosaurs that we haven't seen yet.
This is the thing, right? People got to realize that they took 4 years to make the sequel, which back then was, I suppose, relatively normal. Nowadays, that's like an eternity. Mm-hmm. But it really, right?
Because they wouldn't even let a Star Wars movie, go
be 3 years. Yeah,
like a year. Yeah,
every year we got him. So that seems like a long time. So by way of perspective for me, first JP came out when I was going into high school. This one came out right as I graduated.
Oh wow!
But Jurassic Park had remained in sort of the cultural conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh wow, it's coming back after so. It's like, oh yeah, here's the next one. Like it was expected. And so by this point, the merchandising and everything was obviously a big part of the mix.
Which totally makes sense. I mean, kids love dinosaurs.
It was a marketing dream.
Yeah.
It's funny because when my kid was younger, my oldest, I've mentioned this before. I took him to the first Jurassic when he was 6. When they re-released it, and on YouTube I showed him like commercials of the old toys, and he's like, "Can you buy me those?" I'm like, "You're like 25 years too late."
Yeah.
No, but I wanted to mention the characters of Roland Tembo, who's played by Pete. I think it's Postlethwaite that's pronounced.
Right.
He's such a great actor. He was such a great actor. And the character is so interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But like, it's like they forgot to like really give him like a wrap up,
They sort of do, which sort of surprised me.
Yes.
Actually, that's why I thought he was interesting. I couldn't, he just seemed like almost, what is that, Blackheart from The Simpsons? Mr. Blackheart?
That's how he starts out.
My precious, or my pretty. The elephant ivory dealer. But then at the end, he kind of has this weird
sort of a come to Jesus moment.
Murky as it is. Yeah, exactly.
But it feels like he's too big a character to not have had involved in the third act.
Yeah.
It's, in some way, I don't know how you would have done that. But then again,
maybe they could have used his hunting expertise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like the idea that, he's been trying to get the Rex and now he's trying to free it. Like that would be something interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, we just got a bunch of gangs in this movie, and they kind of, they commingle, I guess, starting.
Yeah, it's like team nature versus team money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Peter Stormare, who like, right away you hate him because he's a Peter Stormare character,
right?
And you're like, hey, do we hate this guy? Oh yeah, we hate him.
Yeah,
when he zaps the little compy.
He has no reason to fear man. Now it does. It's so perfect. Like, ooh, that guy's gonna get it.
See, that's what's funny is really, and even. Colin Trevorrow talked about this. When people got upset about, remember that like assistant or whatever gets killed in Jurassic World. Do you remember that? Like the
Oh,
woman?
yes.
And it is kind of gratuitous. It feels like.
Yeah.
But he made this point. He's like, look, it's not like the universe meting out justice. These are animals. Sometimes good people die. Sometimes evil. That said, you need like, there's certain characters who right from the jump, you're like, oh, he needs like his comeuppance.
Yeah.
And that is Dieter Stark, like right from the jump.
Yeah. That's great. That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, this is nice right there. Look at the silhouettes against the. That's a very Janoshi shot right there.
Yeah. So this poor thing. And I guess there was some deleted scene, right, where they actually show how it broke its leg and why there was a bottle of wine or whatever there is down there. I found that last night. I was like, why is the wine there?
And now you know.
Yeah.
Now the sort of the plaintiff shrieking that the baby T-Rex is putting out.
Yeah.
That's the sound. This is kind of effed up, to be honest. The sound is a baby camel who they separated from its mother. So what you're hearing is actually an animal pleading to have its mother return to it.
That's so sad.
I was like, oh, that's not nice.
Yeah. I was listening to some podcast and someone was going on and on about, and I agreed with them. I thought it was funny, but they were talking about how horses have no idea that they're in movies. And they're like, that horse has no idea that he's in a movie right now. And then people are going to watch it and they'll be like, look at that horse. Look what he did. Like, that horse, he just lived another day of his life.
Just doing its thing. It doesn't know.
So sort of like with that camel, the camel doesn't know, And then
it's like, no, you don't understand. You're part of the Jurassic Park sequel.
Yeah, it's great. We'll get you 2 tickets for the premiere.
Now, speaking of like boo hiss bad guys, Peter Ludlow. Oh boy, do we hate him! What a weasel.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think the Jurassic movies are pretty good about not having like outright villains.
Yeah, sure.
That being said, let me couch that. That applied until Fallen Kingdom, where you had Rafe Spall as, I think you called him, Johnny Mustache Twirler.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Right,
yeah.
But even here, like Ludlow, who's played by Arliss Howard, like he's an antagonist to be sure. But you know what I mean. I think that's what makes him an interesting character in that he acts like a human being, right? This isn't a world of like good guys and bad guys. That's my point. I mean,
you can understand why there's a boardroom of people trying to salvage. They get into the whole, this is a lot of money at stake and they've had to file Chapter 11 and there's a way to bring it back. And I feel like, obviously we're not in favor of that as the audience. We know better, but it makes sense.
Right.
Why these people are even considering this.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is, Spielberg said this. Obviously, the title "The Lost World" itself harkens back to Arthur Conan Doyle and the book that he wrote about a lost world that they discovered. But also, just as much, it's an homage to King Kong and that kind of thing, right? And it tells you something about how sensibilities have changed. Where from the time that the first King Kong came out, which was like 1930 something, to in that movie, the hunters would be the good guys.
Huh. Yeah.
We got to kill all these dinosaurs. Yeah, because they're dinosaurs, and those would be
Yeah, good point.
And whereas now, things have changed. Here, like the Greenpeace guy is the hero.
Yeah, you're totally right.
And Spielberg said this at the very top, right? He's like, this is a movie about hunters and gatherers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you view it through that lens, it actually makes a lot of sense. Again, the fact that Roland Tembo is a very interesting character, but he's not our protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Because the film is saying, like, well, you shouldn't be doing that. That's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because his Roland's the whole thing. He's like, I want my pay is I want to hunt and kill a male Tyrannosaurus.
the greatest predator of all time.
Yeah, to be killed by the second greatest predator.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, all right, settle down, Roland. You know.
But which, by the way, though, so I was thinking during there, there's that bottle or whatever it is, scotch or something. The when the meeting gets trampled by all the dinosaurs, I'm like, when are these investors going to learn? Like right. Every time you know make a little headway with this corporation, dinosaurs attack. You think at some point they just be like,
I mean,
yeah.
From their perspective, they have just. I mean, who knows how much money this costs? I'm assuming cloning a Tyrannosaurus costs at least $237. I'm guessing. At least that much, right? But obviously, it's a lot of money, and they're like sitting on this, like, well, we got a whole island full of these friggin' things,
right?
Like, well, talk about a problem that you got to solve. This is why billionaires should not be given free rein to just follow their muse.
Right.
You know, we keep hearing about like that rich guy out there somewhere in the world who's like, I want to clone a dinosaur, and it's like, well, maybe don't. Like,
yeah. Actually, you know what's funny? I just saw the other day on Reddit that there was an article where some people uncovered seeds for if it was figs or dates, might have been figs, for like a fig tree from like 2,000 years ago, like biblical times, and they were able to get it to grow. So they could taste like a fig that was like basically 2,000 years old.
Amazing.
Isn't that wild?
Wow. I mean, it's like cool, but even that like slightly sends a chill down my spine.
Yeah, like maybe the figs are a little different. Maybe bodies worked a little differently. You know, we have different enzymes that are killing different bacteria. Like, I don't know.
Every time we start delving into, things man was not meant to know territory.
Yeah.
I feel like a zombie apocalypse is like right around the corner. That's me.
We're at least opening the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I agree. Which, by the way, so now that it's raining, should we assume bad things are afoot?
Probably.
Yeah. So here we are.
It's a nice little van thing they got here.
Yeah. What do you call it? Mobile command center?
There you go.
Yeah.
See, again, it's like for the toy companies, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think of that because, again, that's another thing that I remember definitely from this movie. It's a great set piece where it's dangling over the cliff. And so in my head, I just pictured that's, makes sense where Spielberg maybe saw some sort of vehicle like this and was like, what if people were dangling in the middle of one over a cliff?
Yeah,
toy companies were like, let's sell a vehicle.
They were happy to go along with it, I'm sure. That sequence was in the book. And it's kind of interesting. David Koepp talked about the process of adapting the book. Right now, David Koepp wrote the first movie also. So,
yeah, right.
So he's got to take the book that is the sequel to the first book and turn it into a movie that is the sequel to the first movie.
Right.
Even though both are very different from each other. And he talked about how he went through and read The Lost World 4 times.
Wow.
He read it 4 times and he jotted down the stuff that stuck out. Like each time he jotted down the stuff that stuck out. And so each time the scene with the van or the thing like falling off the cliff, that was like something that really stuck out to him. And Spielberg, same thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that they had such enthusiasm for that sequence is plain to see.
Oh yeah.
In the film, because it is without question the action high point of the movie.
Yeah, agreed. Now, it's interesting because doesn't Julianne Moore's character give a whole speech about not disrupting nature or like their presence just being enough to sort of disrupt the way of things?
Yeah.
Now she's in here like, let's take the dinosaur inside our car and...
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, that's Nick's fault, right?
Yeah, for sure, but maybe they should just...
I mean, I think their thought process was like, let's fix this guy up and put him back out there.
Yeah, I get it. It's noble for sure.
I don't think they figured that mom and dad would show up that quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, this being survival of the fittest, the right play for Vince Vaughn would have been to just leave baby Rexy and let whatever's going to happen.
Yeah, which is sad because it shouldn't have a broken leg. Yeah, but I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I don't care because it leads to the thing I want to see. But I mean, that's just a necessary evil of movies like this. I mean, you have to have stupid behavior to, instigate the thing that we came for.
That's hilarious.
So this is kind of funny. This device, I get it, but I think I almost might feel worse in that thing. Like trapped, or if it fell, I don't know, something weird. Would you rather be in that thing or somewhere else?
I mean, if you're high enough, if you're higher than the tyrannosaurs, then that's probably where you want to be, right?
But what's holding it up? Like, what is it? Like a crane, or is it what is it connected to?
Okay, that's good.
I was thinking if there's some sort of cable or something holding that up that's coming from a vehicle, then this is a funny joke.
Yeah,
he goes through all the trouble of explaining how to rappel, and he just hits the ground. He's like, I would have held tighter.
I like this moment right even before that, where he's like, I give you my word, and she's like, but you never keep your word.
Yeah, that was good.
And he doesn't have a response.
Yeah. And they just
yeah, and then Richard Schiff's like, well, maybe squeeze it a little bit, but actually like that the little insight that gives into Goldblum, right, where he's always got the witty reply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But here's this moment where his daughter just kind of cut him to the quick because she knows him, she can read him.
Yeah,
that's
kind of a funny joke too. She's like, spit my name. She's like, you're gum,
the
idiot.
Gum, moron. Yeah, that's a good point about like what's holding this thing up. I admittedly, I just assumed it was the hand of God, but it's obviously not true. So.
It's funny because it's not even me critiquing the movie. I'm just trying to debate if I would actually feel safer in this dangling cage.
I mean, ideally, you want to be at home in your bed in
right.
In Los Angeles, right?
Right.
So given two bad options, especially given what's about to play out, well then yes, obviously the high hide is where it's at.
Yeah.
But I mean the thing is we don't see how Kelly gets down from there.
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean that's got to be terrifying if you're this little kid.
I didn't think of that.
Unless she just gymnastic down and we didn't.
Right. But they didn't want to.
Yeah, they didn't want to spoil it.
Tease that too early.
That scene where Goldblum's like, "Mommy's very angry." I remember that was in the trailers.
Yeah, it feels very trailer.
Right. This scene, I mean, truly, this entire sequence, you could just show it in a film class.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Basically, from this point, from when Malcolm enters the trailer up to the resolution of the scene, we're talking about it's about probably like 10 minutes or so. I mean, it's like a whole movie in itself.
Yep.
It's a masterclass in how you escalate tension and how each piece leads to the other piece leads to the other. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and that dinosaur looks incredible. I mean, its eyes. It's not that they just blink, but I mean, their actual eyeballs sort of twitch and.
Well, and obviously there is something to the fact that it's an actual thing occupying the real physical space that they are actually reacting to.
Yeah, I wonder if these actors ever had nightmares about this.
Right?
Like just staring at this menacing-looking thing for 12 hours a day. And just if it got in their heads a little bit. But yeah, I will say this because I've only seen this movie a couple times, right? And there is something cool about, a second or third thing to a thing that you love that you haven't seen as many times because then it still feels somewhat fresh.
Sure.
So I did kind of enjoy watching this last night because I remembered that they have a thing in a van, but I actually had totally forgotten the context that there was a dinosaur inside at first. And So yeah, I mean, I think the set pieces in this are cool. And there's like, talk about a horror movie later with Stormare.
Yeah, I mean that's when I think of this movie, like there's like logic problems, but I don't think of the logic problems. I think of the stuff where I was like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I think, you know what? There's just more opportunities for me to turn the channel if this was on TV after the thing I liked. Whereas with Jurassic Park 1, I just keep it all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's you know, it's like a high bar, you know, the first film. I mean, this is still very entertaining.
I think, as I've said, I think given especially that there's now more of a preponderance of these movies, the spectrum of quality is much wider, right?
Yes.
And I'm somebody, I've said it. Look, I honestly like them all. I can find stuff to like in all of them, even the ones people don't like. I like, but I don't think it's a controversial thing, certainly anymore, to say this is like the second best of all of them.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You know.
By the way, the girl, that was really funny when she's on the phone. Like, how are you? I'm good.
Yeah, that's right.
That's sort of scared.
Look I love how he gets up and right into the light,
Into the light.
framing his eyes. Again, look at this.
It's cool.
It's so well staged.
Yeah.
Now all this, the bit with the thing hanging off the cliff.
Yeah.
They built their own cliff on the Universal lot.
Ah.
They literally the parking structure. They transformed
Really?
it. Yeah, it's like when you see the van like hanging over the cliff. That is the parking structure on the Universal lot that they transformed into this.
Just get you giddy.
Isn't that crazy?
Movies. I love it. By the way, so have you seen? We've been on the Universal tour, haven't we?
We have not. We've been to the Universal City Walk. That's about as far as I've gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They have this van there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so you can see it when you're doing the backlot tour. It's sort of in a jungle setting.
Okay, so right here, look at this. Look at this. I mean, she's on the glass, and you can hear every crack. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember watching this opening day. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm like, Spielberg, like on a board day.
Yes.
Is this? You know?
See, and this is the thing that I think why people like want to do what he does, but they don't or can't. They could, but they're just impatient. Like it's what you said earlier. It's a ramp up in tension, and it's like have her fall in the glass, but then it's not this scramble. It's more like, let's watch the cracks slowly start to appear. But, let's have like the cellular phone thing, with a suitcase slowly starting to fall, off of whatever hook it's on. And if it falls, it's going to break that glass. So you have multiple things. You've got the cracks to worry about, and he's got to get, it's not even like a crazy visual effect. It's like reach the damn hand, strap, because we know what it means if he doesn't get that strap. But that's way more tension filled.
Yeah. I mean, it's letting the thread play out.
Yeah.
And making sure you set up all the pieces so that everything is there for us to understand where the tension is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And again, for me, it's like I'm watching this on mute. I can hear the glass cracking.
I know. This is so great.
And then the lucky pouch, which they set up, her backpack.
Yep. I can dig it. Good setup. This, by the way, I don't know what he could just be driving in a circle and there's like a bunch of PAs and stuff holding like palm branches, but I was like, why couldn't he have done that in Crystal Skull? Like, why did it have to be CGI for?
Why did
You know what? That's another thing. Oh, I wanted to bring this up. So, Jurassic Park gets a lot of credit for being the perfect marriage of CGI and practical, and that's why it still holds up to this day. But Papa Spielberg has sort of veered away from grandstandy visual effects, right? Like he's using visual effects to tell the Post now, or Munich, and get rid of TV antennas and things like that in the backgrounds or whatnot. But when given the opportunity, he does kind of lean into visual effects or CGI in a way, where we're like, ugh. So it kind of makes you wonder if he would do that blend as much, or if he were continuing to make Indiana Joneses and Jurassic Parks, would we be like, oh wow, I thought he might have done this, but he's really going all in on that?
That's really interesting.
Right?
I mean, I think this Spielberg is gone now. Mm-hmm. So I think Crystal Skull is as good an indicator as any of where he's at when it comes to use of technology.
Or Ready Player One.
It's an even better exemplar.
Though that movie does lend itself to being in some sort of visual effect world. But yes,
I mean, look, let's be real. For all of our hemming and hawing about practical versus CGI, the reality is if you're a filmmaker, the convenience and creativity that's afforded by being able to use digital technology, you can't unring that bell.
And I don't even think you should. I mean, we've said before too. I mean, it's the marriage. You got to have this perfect marriage, and then it's not even a thing, right?
I mean, I
even know the difference.
Yeah, I think for every Christopher Nolan who is like, who is like, no, we're gonna build this barrel for real, and we're gonna spin these people around for real, and we're gonna give them nausea for real. They're gonna vomit for real.
Right? They're gonna sue me for real.
Yeah, exactly. I think for every Christopher Nolan, you've got who for him it's like a point of pride.
Yes.
I don't sense that that's really a thing for Steven Spielberg.
No.
Certainly anymore. And again, part of this because Papa Spielberg, whenever he steps foot outside of his preferred wheelhouse now, it's sort of by hook or by crook. Mm-hmm. And, again, there's just an ease and convenience offered by digital. And when you think about it, by the way, I mean, he pioneered this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Steven Spielberg, James Cameron, George Lucas, Robert Zemeckis, these guys pioneered digital technology.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're damn right. They built the playground. They're going to play in it.
Yeah, yeah.
So this whole
is
sequence,
a great sequence. And
with Eddie,
a damn hero.
It really. Look at the tension just keeps escalating. It's this and then this, and he ties the thing. It gets untied.
Yep.
I mean, and then by the way,
yeah.
Here's more T-Rexes.
Yep. But he just goes. He sells it. Like I just really, my heart was with this guy.
Well, and what's so frustrating is if not for his little tranquilizer gun being caught in the net in the Jeep.
Yes.
He would have got out of there. He'd lived to tell. You
know what's funny though? That is such a understandable obstacle though. I mean, it reminds me of something that could absolutely happen to me.
Yep.
Or like when your belt loop gets caught in the door or whatever, and you're like, how the heck did that happen? And it just does. Like, yeah, just on that netting, it totally makes sense. Yeah, this is good stuff. Squealing in reverse to try to get that.
And this, by the way, when look at that.
This is fantastic. I remember there's another shot too. I like of this later.
As his Jeep is just pirouetting back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Oh, that was the thing. I was like, what's that button he pushed? Some sort of thing where Mercedes was like, if you're going to use this car, you got to push that button. Yeah. That's the other thing, too. I was wondering, I haven't climbed a rope since elementary school, but I was like, oh, man, that does look... When she slips there...
Yeah.
And it feels a little bit like an extra sort of... but I was like, no, I bet that would happen. That thing's really slick.
Yeah. Your hands are already wet.
Yeah. Because it doesn't have the knotting... Right, those gym class ropes.
Right, exactly. Okay, so this right here, this is where before I die, I have shit my pants.
Yeah,
just everywhere.
Like the lawyer, you gotta
exactly.
Go.
Well, and speaking of that, I mean, this does feel like Spielberg very deliberately trying to one up himself. Where he's like
having two.
You thought the one T-Rex in the rain was terrifying?
Right.
Here's another one. What do you think of that? You little so and so.
Yeah. This looks good. These are puppets, clearly.
Yeah, and
that's still saving his friends.
Seriously.
He won't take his foot off the pedal.
It's just like 8 things happening bad in a row.
I know.
See
It's the
that
little
right
things
there.
too, like with the airbag deploying. It just adds to the chaos and the horror of all this.
Now, somebody
man.
like 2 weeks ago, I found this. Somebody on Twitter was asked Richard Schiff, has anyone asked you, Richard Schiff, what it felt like to be eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex? And he said nobody over 11.
That's hilarious. Until now.
Yeah, exactly. I do find that funny. Like Richard Schiff has had a long, illustrious career, right? Between obviously West Wing and Good Doctor, and I mean, you name it. And like for X number of people, he'll always be like Eddie Carr from The Lost World.
Yeah.
That's his most prominent role.
That's pretty horrifying, though. I mean, it is a testament. I mean, Spielberg clearly, I mean, he must have sent a lot of fruit baskets to the MPAA because we literally see a man torn in half,
Right?
on screen in this like kids movie. I don't know how he's able to always get away with this.
Now, talking of Roland Tembo, I think the character is very interesting because he's clearly meant to be in the same vein as Robert Muldoon from the first movie.
Yeah, but a different shade.
He in that same flavor, you know.
Yeah.
Even down to his appearance.
Yeah.
Right, and I think part of it is you cast Pete Postlethwaite, and it's like, well, you know, he's gonna add texture, like that's just what he does, and I think that's what makes me a little sad that like we don't get just a little bit more with him.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I wouldn't have minded if he had been a bit more prominent.
Yeah,
He definitely has his moments, but
I mean, to be honest, I mean Vince Vaughn, he disappears before the final set piece too.
yeah. Which, by the way, is there a time jump? I mean, there has to be. I mean, we can talk about it later, I guess. But last night I sort of blinked and was like, wait a minute. Did they address that? Like, I mean, I think they changed their clothes, and now how long did it take that ship to go?
I mean, you have to figure that. I mean, that's interesting. I just assumed it was several hours later, but I don't think it was more than that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Because I mean, Costa Rica to San Diego, how long would that take?
I don't know, actually.
Right? Well, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can.
This is good. I mean, you know, for the story, we got now all the people who are at odds in their methods. Now they are collided together and having a.
I think putting. I love this, by the way. I started typing and it says distance from San Diego to Costa Rica by boat. So like that's one of the the automatic fill-ins, and I'm like, how many people specifically asked that question because of The Lost World?
Right.
So it's a distance between San Diego and Costa Rica is 4,205 kilometers road. So I'm curious. It's like a 12-hour plane ride. 14-hour plane ride. No, yeah, something like that. So.
Oh wow, so that'd be
by
at least
boat.
a day.
By boat, you'd be looking at least a couple days, I would think, right?
A couple days, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, there is. There you go.
Moving on.
There you go. This is what people tune into our commentary tracks for. Calculating travel distance.
You know what was really weird? I was doing this like game night thing, and we had to come up with animals that started with the letter T. And someone said turkey vulture. I was like, turkey vulture? I was like, I never, what?
Because
and
of
then
this.
literally hours later, I was watching this, and they were talking about the turkey vulture, and I was like, wow.
Well, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. See, the moment that we just saw, right, is the confrontation between Malcolm and Tembo, right?
Yeah.
And Tembo says, look, he just fed, so he's not going to be hungry. And Malcolm is like, he just fed, like he died saving my
Right.
life, you could be a little more respectful, right? So Malcolm's reaction is very normal. But when you think about it, like, Tembo didn't say anything that was that out of sorts.
Right.
And that's my point, right? Like, they could have shaded that character a lot more. Like, yeah, well, he just chowed down on fat ass over there. So, you know, like,
Right. Yes.
and I think that's by design, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And he has kind of a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy. I wouldn't have minded more from him.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe you shaves, I don't know what you shave even. But just to have these characters have been together, almost like in the first film where if they're just 5 of them together, right?
Sure.
And there's not this whole army marching through the woods, but it's just these people having to survive together with their different theories and methods and ideologies. That might have been kind of interesting.
But I think
talents.
I think having this in-gen army adds something interesting to me, which is this idea of you've got these corporate people who are just like, let's just put boots on the ground and we just dominate.
Yeah, no. I get it. I mean, I still would prefer this because then that would just be the first movie again.
Yeah, and so I mean, you've got this friggin' caravan of people here that's whittled down to just like 4 people by the end.
Yeah.
You know, that's sort of a triumph of like, well, you can't, you know, you don't dominate nature. Like, that's the idea, you know?
Mm-hmm. You know, and I almost would have liked to have seen the relationship between Postlewaite and his friend.
Yeah.
I don't think his friend talks hardly at all, but at the end, that plays a major part in his arc.
Yes, exactly.
And so I wouldn't have minded them being like real buddies, you know, and seeing a little more of that.
A little chuckling back and forth.
Yeah. Like maybe even just looking out for each other. I mean, what if like something came too close to Postlewaite's head and his friend caught it, you know, and like, oh, these guys, like, they're a duo. Like, they look out for each other. And then when he loses that guy at the end, who's his real partner, that would be, you know, we'd really feel it. I actually had to go on Google and figure out who he was talking about. I didn't know who he was
really?
Yeah. I love, this is a great shot, by the way. Hey man, I'll be back in like, you know, I'm going to the ladies' room or whatever. And the guy's like, you know, turns his head right to the camera with these headphones.
You know what's funny is this is one of those things where I saw it at the exact age for it to permanently stay with me. Where anytime we're out, I'll tell somebody, I'm like, listen, don't go anywhere without me. You understand? You know?
Yeah.
I'll
Lift
be right
the
back.
headphone off of one ear.
Yeah, it's like seeing what happened to Dieter Stark in the Lost World. I was like, I know for sure I'm not going to get eaten by compies. I'll make sure that doesn't happen, you know.
Yeah, this is good. This is another good sequence.
I mean, you know what's funny is for all the ways I'm like, oh, it's different from the first one. There is very much like, okay, we got to have this guy, we got to have this guy. You know, Eddie was the Ray Arnold.
Yeah.
And he is the Dennis Nedry.
You know, I did not make the one-to-ones. Yeah.
It's like the guy who's... Because remember the same thing, he's like teasing the Dilophosaurus, remember?
Yeah. Stick stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they sort of tease it, and they're like more of a playful sort of creature, right?
Yeah.
Well, playful in quotes. I mean, you think it's sort of like kind of sussing you out, whatever, but really it's like, I'm going to eat you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is absolutely terrifying what happens to him.
It is so, speaking of with that girl and saying, you know, like birds,
Yeah.
you know, or something you can kind of make a real world comparison. I mean, yeah, the way that these dinosaurs behave. Actually, I was thinking about that. I was thinking Spielberg obviously had something really specific in his head, which is really cool. And they really, really sold it, and the actor sold it. That absolutely relatable fear where something's intimidating you, so you sort of try to get it to go away, but it doesn't.
Yep.
And then you're like, and then it like kind of advances on you a little bit, and you're like, oh, this thing's isn't afraid of me at all.
Yep.
And it's like a nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it times you know, up to 11 in this film, obviously, and the pack grows, and this really does feel like out of a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
man.
It's freaking
These little
terrifying.
things. Yeah.
So all of these are actual Stan Winston puppets,
Yeah.
little armatures. He's wearing a whole rig.
Oh, that
And they're
makes sense.
moving independent. So that one, right? Like basically, they were like, these things are going to be on you, and they're just going to be moving. Don't touch them because they'll break. And he's like, I need one, right? So like, he asked them to make this one right here that's biting his lip.
Oh, really?
He's like, give me one that I can just like pull off of me and put some blood in my mouth, like just something so that I'm interacting with it.
That's smart.
And Spielberg was like, oh yeah, that's great, that's great. So
The biting the lip thing's horrifying.
yeah, and it's a smart piece of business to just look at this right here though, where
Yeah. This is horrifying. See this? Like, this is what I feel like I've had this feeling with, like, some sort of animal before, where you're like, yeah, go, 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 go. And then they just come back. And you're
they
like,
come back
"Oh."
in bigger numbers.
Yeah.
So there's Janusz just Janushing it up. Look at all the light just piercing through the woods.
I mean, and also to be clear, I mean, like, Spielberg's always been a light guy, right?
Yeah.
But it's all that really hazy, gauzy stuff that
Yeah.
sort of started with Janusz.
Yeah, I mean it took a turn, right? Like 80s Spielberg was it felt very tactile and grounded. And
Yeah,
then
I mean, even Close Encounters, as amplified as it is,
Yes.
I mean, it's like, yeah, no, it's a huge friggin' shaft of light, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But by the time we get to certainly like Catch Me If You Can, but like Bridge of Spies and The Post and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
these are like fantasias, you know?
Yeah, I just... I almost wish it was a feature on my Blu-ray where I could have it with or without.
It's like in the settings, like the turn off the motion smoothing.
Yeah, and
turn
I wouldn't turn off the light. I love that about Spielberg. I just don't like the gauzy, fuzzy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
this entire sequence is a great "What would you do?"
Yeah,
And
yeah. You're right.
I mean, it's far more horrifying than what happens to Nedry. But
Yes.
it's still
Getting
in that
picked
vein.
apart to death.
Yeah,
This is great though. I love this. Like over
we don't even see it.
the fallen tree, and then the camera just pans down to the water.
The blood.
Slowly turns red. Good stuff. And they gave us a good reason. Well, you know what? That's funny. Going back to the Jurassic World woman, the assistant. I mean,
Yeah.
she did nothing wrong,
Right.
right? And in this, we have this guy shocking and prodding these creatures, right? So we're like, well, don't mess with nature. you know?
Yeah. So here's the other thing here. Roland, rather than being like, all right, well, F that guy, let's go, right? He's like, we got to find him.
Yes. This surprised me last night. And then no one tells the girl. I love that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this really did. I didn't realize that he had sort of the layers to him till this moment. I was like, oh, he's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's, and I think part of that is just he was such a good actor.
Yeah.
He carried such authority. I mean, in Inception, which is like
Yes.
one of the last things he did. I mean, he's like in a bed.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything, but he still has this gravitas, Mm-hmm. First time I ever saw
the town, I remember him.
The Town. That was one of his last performances too, and he was withering away.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, watch In the Name of the Father.
No, I haven't seen it.
You have a great movie waiting for you.
All right. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'll watch that. And I'll just forget. I'm actually going to write it down.
Yeah, write that down. Daniel Day-Lewis,
Yeah.
amazing. And this is the first time I ever saw Pete Postlethwaite was in that.
Oh.
Amazing. Yeah, there's Ajay. That's the guy. Poor bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what's funny, by the way? I thought his name was RJ.
Uh-huh.
The way that he pronounces it. Not that he does it weird, just the way I heard it, I should say. And so last night I was like, who's RJ? Like,
Oh,
what's
that's
the
why.
connection?
Ajay. I like the. Did you find him? Just the parts they didn't like.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
There was also that nice bit of business just before where Ludlow's like, all right, come on, everybody, let's go. And nobody gives a shit about him.
Yeah.
And then Nick is like, come on, guys. It's like, all right. Like,
Yeah, okay.
which is funny because he's like on the opposing side or whatever.
I know, yeah.
But these guys smell bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I wonder where all this is. Up by you?
Where,
Also, like Northern California?
I mean, the terrain looks the same.
Yeah.
See, so remember, we just spent. I mean, there was an entire exchange about how, other than the turkey vulture, the T-Rex has the biggest nasal cavity, right?
Right.
It can smell for up to 10 miles. Well, then what's it doing here? It's just like, it's like, well, these people should all be dead.
Yeah. That reminds me, by the way, I like, this shot stuck out to me last night also, that real
nice.
extreme close-up on Julianne Moore. I was like, man, that would look great on a movie screen. That's just, there's something so, I don't know, something about it I just really loved.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the beginning, Julianne Moore gives Vince Vaughn a hard time about his cigarette, and I was like, well, I'm sure he smells you. You know? And this, oh my gosh, she knows this. Why does she have that jacket in there?
It's like hanging up, you know?
I know. It's pretty,
I gotta air this thing out.
but this is a good sort of, oh, this is great. That silhouette. But the whole, again, this really just feel like a series of nightmares. I mean, where you're in this tent. I used to have nightmares like this where I would be on a floor with my head down and I knew there was something there, but I was afraid to lift my head.
Oh, yeah.
This reminds me of that, right? Where she knows it's in the tent, but she can't move. And its head or its jaws are just roving, all over her sleeping bag.
Okay, yeah. This is another what would you do moment, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I kept thinking about the girl. I was like, would I wake her or would I?
Yeah, exactly.
You're waking up to that.
Jeez. You would never sleep again.
No. But that's what I mean. It's the main thing it's smelling is its infant's blood, I suppose, or at least that's what it's focused on.
That's right. The little touch of her just like crying.
Yeah, this girl's good.
You know?
I don't think she's given as much of a pop as the kids do in the first movie for some reason, but she's good.
It feels a little bit like checking boxes, like, well, we got to have a kid. And and it does feel like all the Jurassic movies have that checklist.
Oh, good call.
Right?
I didn't even think about that. What about the third?
Yeah, there's the kid in the third, remember? That's like the whole reason they go to the island.
Oh, see, I don't remember the third. I just remember the pterodactyl.
Which was another great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the third one, remember...
Oh, and I remember Alan, when the dinosaur talks.
Yeah, that's become the famous, like, the reason to hate that movie. I defend JP3 just as much. I'm alone on an island. So that right there...
Yeah.
We saw... See, I didn't catch that until much later, that when Van Owen is like, hey, can I see a rifle? And he just kind of grabs it. He does like a switcheroo. And he takes the shells out.
I didn't pick up on that either.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very curious that he would take sort of the... he would leave the shells, but he dismantled the bullets rather than just take the bullets.
He's just that good.
Yeah. This is really... You can tell Spielberg was just like...
Right.
Like, let's have the guy stick to the dinosaur's foot.
You know what's funny, though, is this movie, when it premiered, it had the teaser trailer for Godzilla in front of it.
Oh.
Specifically, it's like a class that's looking at a dinosaur exhibit in a museum. So they have a skeleton of a T-Rex or whatever, and then you see Godzilla's foot just crushes it. And the idea was Sony and these people being like, oh yeah, you think the Jurassic Park or something? Watch what happens next year, right?
Right.
And yet, you compare this movie to Godzilla 98, and I mean, there's any number of comparisons, but the effects are substantially, demonstrably worse.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, I mean, say what you want about this movie. You can't critique the special effects to any great degree, notwithstanding what you said earlier about, like, maybe a render here and there.
See, but this looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of nightmares...
Now, this is from the book also, right? like behind a waterfall.
Yes, that's right.
I guess this happened to Tim in the first book or something. I haven't read that since junior high, so I don't have a great memory of it.
Yeah, I read it a couple months before the movie came out.
Same. I think like the Scholastic Book Fair had it. I remember buying. Wow, let's talk about random memories. I remember the woman who sold it to me was like, it's going to be a movie.
Real quick though, wait. Okay, come on.
Oh my gosh. It's like I think I could tolerate a snake in my collar.
You can't sit tight for like 10 seconds?
It's funny because it's like this tongue is on Julianne Moore, and then he's like, snake! Whoa! And he like moves away from the wall.
It's like something out of The Simpsons.
It really is. It really is.
Sorry, you were saying, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I just remember that existing before the film, and the Scholastic Bookwoman being like, this is going to be a movie? I was like, I do. That's why I'm buying it.
Yeah, lady, God.
No.
Now this, again, talk about great set pieces. See.
Yeah, it's good.
Like Ajay, he's a hunter. He's with Roland. So he's the one who's telling him, guys, don't go into the tall grass.
Right.
This is how jaguar hunt. They hunt in the tall grass. But look at how cool this sequence is, where you see like the trails like converging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. Like all from different directions, honing in on the one spot with the humans.
This is like, look at that.
That's great.
Oh man, that's great. And here's the thing, right? Remember, James Cameron wanted to make the first one, and then he found out that Spielberg already had the rights, right? And he's like, "Well, the right guy got it. I would have made it much more R-rated, right?"
Right.
This sequence is Jurassic Park horror.
Yeah.
This gives a window into the kind of movie Cameron might have made.
You're right.
Because it feels very much in the vein of Aliens.
It really does. You're totally right. Yeah. You're right. This movie does lean into the horror more.
Yeah.
Than the thrill or the terror.
The wonder.
The first one. The wonder, absolutely, yeah. But I like it because it's different. I want it to be a little different.
That's the thing for me. Like every set piece that is memorable, it feels very distinct in this movie.
Yeah.
And I like, again, we were talking about the tall grass scene, and right after there's the whole sequence set in the village. Really well done.
Yeah. Yes. This reminds me too. I read something where Spielberg regrets he had an idea about velociraptors and motorcycles. Mm-hmm. And he didn't do it, and then he said later he wished he had done it.
And they did it in Jurassic World, I guess.
I was just gonna say, that must be it, huh?
It's kind of crazy to realize, like, we are an hour and a half in, and they held the velociraptors in reserve all the way up to this point.
Yeah, good call.
Because we don't see them at all before this.
You know what's funny? Just this week I saw on Instagram, I follow this account, something about letters. I wish I could remember what it's called, but it's letters from history. And they're just kind of interesting. And one of them was a letter from Spielberg to Barry Sonnenfeld when he was doing Men in Black. And he was telling him how he would shoot the scene where they blow that pawn shop guy's head up. Because he was like, well, if you do it like this, the MPAA is never going to go for it. So don't make it red. Make it like purple or green. And he was like, but then he goes, but don't make it look like a balloon. It's got to look like this. Because like kids are going to love this. Like, but if it's just like a balloon, they're not going to go for it. And it was kind of a weird, we don't get lots of insights into his mind about these specific details. So it was kind of cool hearing him be like, kids are going to love it. Like, he's making these movies thinking like, oh, kids are going to freaking lose it when they see this.
By the way, real quick, we're seeing the concept drawing of the visitor center. We hear the music. For all the way people go after the Jurassic World movies for being like nostalgia porn, they started the nostalgia porn early with Jurassic Park. Because like right here with this, you see the visitor center, you're like, hey, I know that place.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
like right away they started leaning into the nostalgia.
See, I had forgotten about this moment until I saw it again last night. And I remember feeling this in Jurassic World also. I mean, when you see the Jeeps right? And the glasses, or what those things are, those light goggles and whatnot. Like, yeah, they evoke these feelings, but it's kind of cool seeing them covered in mud, not appearing the way that they're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, specifically in both in Jurassic World and then in Fallen Kingdom. In Jurassic World, there's a moment where the two kids go inside the visitor center where we last saw the T-Rex.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's this tactile sense of like we have been in this place.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the second one, which my son caught before even I did, we see the actual Jeep that Grant was in with Lex and Timmy.
I kind of remember that. Yeah,
and I remember my son just like punching my arm like that's the Jeep, I mean, I've said this to you before. I mean, he is 13 now. 13. He was 6 when he saw the first one.
Wow.
He has just grown up, inhaling these movies.
Yeah.
And so it's been so interesting to experience this franchise through his and then obviously his brother's eyes, because I get it much more even than when I was a kid. Because we were slightly older, but like when you have kids who are much younger, and they just plug in a whole different level,
seeing it through their eyes.
Yeah. That's truly one of my most memorable movie experiences is watching Jurassic Park 3D with him when he was 6.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Seeing. Well, no, I was just gonna say I love that this movie has become Jaws.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like people who were there adore it, but it hasn't gone anywhere. Right.
Yeah.
And like we said, it's been one of the most popular library movies during this pandemic that people are putting in theaters to get people to go to theaters. And I see young people wearing Jurassic Park shirts. Like, I just love that it's not like one of Spielberg's later great movies. Like, it's like, no, it's cemented itself and it's tested,
Yeah.
Like, this is beloved by the generations that follow as well. It's cool.
And obviously that longevity is borne out by the fact that these new films continue to perform.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one thing that Jurassic World did well, but the fact that quietly the next one ended up making $1 billion.
I didn't know that the second one did too, huh?
Yeah, it was a massive hit.
Yeah.
And why? It's because these are family. It's like it's a generational thing.
Yeah. They're just the perfect tone also. I mean, thinking of what Cameron wanted to do, which probably would have been awesome. Yeah. But that's just, I'm sure it would be cool, but this just works. It's just scary enough.
Yeah, for some reason, when I picture Cameron doing it, I picture somebody with a Gatling gun being like, "Die, mother effers!"
Yeah, totally true. Yeah. It would absolutely be the Marines versus the dinosaurs.
Right?
Yeah.
I was watching some of the behind-the-scenes footage of this entire sequence as Goldblum is doing, running around, getting knocked around. There's nothing there.
Yeah,
and it's so. I mean, you're like, these guys get paid to play pretend.
I know.
But it's like it's got to be so hard to react to just nothing.
Yeah. I remembered this. I thought this was cool. Spielberg does this a lot. There was something earlier, too, I was going to point out. As I was watching it last night, I noticed a lot of his tropes in here in a fun way. And when Vince Vaughn is translating with that guy on the boat at the very beginning about the 5 deaths, what they call the island, I was like, oh, that reminds me of Close Encounters where they're translating with the guy who saw the light in the sky. But it's like everyone's talking over each other, one guy in a different language, one guy's translating. And then this happens a lot, too. This reminds me of Shooter at the beginning of Jurassic Park, where you got the eyes of the Velociraptor, and you cut back to Muldoon's eyes, and you cut back to the eye. Like, they both have a purpose.
Yeah.
And we keep cutting to it. And we have these hard cuts here with dig, 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 dig.
Yeah.
Claws digging, then
Good
hard
call.
cut. Humans dig, dig, dig. Humans dig,
Good call. It's a nice jump scare moment coming up right here. That's friggin' scary. Yeah, right here, where she's like, "Okay, yeah, you go." Like,
wait, I don't remember.
She tells the girl, she's like, "Oh, it's clear," and then she tells Kelly to go first. Right? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Again, I just a big old crap in my pants right there.
Yeah.
Just dealing with that for the rest of the day.
You know what I also love? I love when he doesn't cut when people are moving in locations. I mean, we talk about that a lot. We love his narrative camera work, but just that where they were climbing the chain to get to the second floor and the camera just cranes up to follow her so we can sort of... It reminds me of Temple of Doom also, you know, when Indy's fighting that guy on the conveyor belt and then Short Round's got his own problems behind him. But the camera doesn't cut and show us that. It just cranes up so we can get all the context of all of it. There's something really effective and kind of thrilling. It makes you lean forward.
It's the antithesis of like Michael Bay style cut, right? Like letting the environment exist in a way where you have a frame of reference for what is what.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, well, here we go. I mean, here we are.
This is what we paid our admission for.
This is her doing her gymnastics to use these pipes inside this shack as uneven bars.
Hey, makes all the sense in the world, right?
You know what it is? I think it's because she's doing all the flourishes that it feels silly.
I will say this, Brian. It's a pretty funny line from Malcolm.
They cut you from the team?
That's pretty funny.
It's funny. I think if she had been a little less showy and done just a couple of flips and it was all about just kicking it out, maybe people wouldn't be so hard on it. But then on the other hand, then what's the point? You know, just if she's this gymnast and she's going to kick the velociraptor, of course you got to have her do a couple flips and stuff. I love this. I had forgotten about this.
This is really, I was going to point this out.
Yeah, this Spanish-style roof here with the clay tiles. Again, this is another thing where it's like I imagine you give Spielberg like a location. He's like, well, what if she throws the tiles? And it's like, but then the tiles will slip and it'll bring the dinosaur closer to her.
That's great.
So then, it's just using your environment.
I think all the ways they contrive to make it hard for our main characters to get out of this scenario that they're in, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I do talk about this a lot, actually. I just love when movies make the most of their environment. And then it's not just one sort of thing. It's like, okay, well, we solved this, but then that created a new problem in the same spot. And then what, you know? Yeah. This, by the way, reminded me of Crystal Skull. It's almost exactly the same when Indy falls through that window and then goes through the other window.
In the beginning, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way she fell in that light.
See, so right here, as they're being evacuated, the sort of the Lost World theme kicks in, right? And I wanted to circle back to the music earlier. Like, I really, like, you gotta applaud John Williams' own confidence in not leaning into his pre-existing thematic material.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, like,
absolutely.
There's 3 times... well, 4 if we include the end credits. 3 times where he uses the Jurassic Park theme, and it's never, this big sort of bravura thing. It's just little teases of it,
right?
And instead, he creates this whole lush musical environment that exists within the world that we've already seen, but exists alongside it. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I think the Lost World theme. It doesn't get talked about as much, right? But it's really good.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I agree.
Like, I don't think he does that at the concerts very often, if at all.
No,
you know,
no, no. I mean, I think it's really, really great. I don't think it's as sweeping and hummable.
Yes,
maybe as Jurassic. I mean, everybody knows the Jurassic Park theme.
Yeah,
I remember that was a cassette single at Musicland.
Oh yeah, it was
back in the day.
See this, this is Roland's like come to Jesus moment.
Yep.
And it's nice business for him. I agree with you that if we cared more about Ajay, it would mean more.
Yeah, but I like that it still kind of surprised me, and that makes it interesting.
He's like, I've spent enough time around death, or something to that effect, right? Whatever he says, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, this is Hammond's nephew. Is that what it is?
Ludlow is. That's right.
Okay.
It's just like a friggin' weasel, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, yeah. That's how you picture him talking. Yeah, I'm John Hammond's nephew. Yeah. That's how he got into.
Wait, so in Jurassic World, what's the family we're dealing with? That house with the clone girl, and is that related to Hammond again?
It's not related to Hammond, except that her grandpa, who is James Cromwell, was like Hammond's
That's right.
partner.
Right.
Which, I mean, yeah, you figure if Richard Attenborough was still alive, like, that probably would have been Hammond, you know?
Yeah. So do you know what the third act originally was going to be?
Yeah. So the idea was that as they're leaving the island, they're attacked by a bunch of pterodactyls.
Oh.
And,
So they get to the helicopters, but it's of no use because...
Yeah, so the evacuation happens as we see it, and before they can make it to the mainland, they're having to fight off these pterodactyls. I don't know what the resolution of that would have been, but the idea was like, you know, one type of bird versus another type of bird, you know?
Oh, I get it.
And so...
I could dig it.
So that and it wasn't even hypothetical. I mean, it had been storyboarded out. They had it figured out. And Spielberg basically, he contacts David Koepp and he's like, you know, like, I'm just not feeling it. Like, this is what I want to see, you know?
I don't disagree with him, actually. I mean, I think that could have been cool, but I love this San Diego thing. I remember when I saw this in the theater with my friends. When the credits were rolling, I remember them going, well, that was terrible. And I was like, really? Like, and they were talking about the San Diego thing just being ridiculous.
It is so weird to me. Yeah.
I was like, it's so cool. Like,
what you're saying, that's not unique, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Specifically that critique, like, oh yeah, it was fine until they got to San Diego. And I was like, I really like the San Diego thing. Like, I think that's what makes this movie unique from all of them. They don't do anything like that in any of the other ones yet.
Yep, from first viewing, I just thought that was the coolest idea. And it should come as no surprise to regular listeners of the show. We always talk about magic in your backyard.
Magic in your backyard.
That's our thing. And there it is. Imagine in your backyard there's a dinosaur drinking out of your pool.
That was Spielberg's whole thing. He had this just image of like a dinosaur looking through a kid's bedroom window. And he, from the moment development started, and he just kept it in his back pocket. Like, I want to find a way to incorporate it. So of course he did. But to me, the thing about, like, the pterodactyls, as a clincher to this movie, it doesn't sound particularly compelling because it's yet again this sense of, like, if we go over there, there's a bunch of crazy stuff, and then we got to escape, and then we'll be okay. And even as you say, like, the pterodactyls, like, it's all like island stuff. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so, like, you know, where are we now? We're at about an hour 43. So presumably the movie would be like right around done by now. Mm-hmm. And it would by extension feel less consequential to me.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, and this was the same thing I liked, by the way, about Fallen Kingdom, which, you know, not everybody liked that movie, but I was like, I like that the movie ends and you've advanced the ball. The world is different now. And so whatever happens next has to play it from there.
I agree. I like the idea of, I mean, that's, where do you go next? It's like, well, what if dinosaurs get off the island and ruin society?
Real quick, by the way, I don't know, you probably didn't catch it. Well, you might get another shot of it here, in case you can't see it. The name of the boat is the SS Venture.
Yeah.
And even in design, yeah, right there, you can see it, SS Venture. That's the name of the boat, the ship in the original King Kong that goes to Skull Island. And it's even
very
made,
apt, huh?
Exactly.
Transporting a monster.
Exactly. And it's made to look like that boat, that boat in that movie too. So
that's fun. That was cool, by the way. I love the blip on the radar.
That was great. It's very Spielberg.
Coming into harbor pretty fast.
Yeah.
And then you follow him leaving the office and looking into the fog, and then it just appears and rips apart the deck. It's good stuff.
It's this moment here gets a lot of criticism because it's like, what happened on the boat?
I did think that, because you do have the T-Rex still in the enclosure or whatever you would call it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why the crew is all ripped.
Real quick,
up.
I don't know who that African American actor was who is oh my god. Oh,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's kind of like a featured role, and you figure, man, that guy must have been so excited to get like a role like that. You picture this like young struggling actor, and
Dude, I had the exact same thought last night.
Really?
Because he gets a good moment. Right. And I was like, and I literally thought, like, I don't know who that guy is, but he gets like this awesome moment in this like big Spielberg movie. And he's, what does he say? He has like a line about like
all over the place. Yeah.
Or something.
So, okay, so we were talking about, it's unclear what happened.
Yes.
And
we just have a lot of limbs.
Yeah, so people are like, well, how could the T-Rex have done that if T-Rex is still there? It's supposed to be Velociraptors did that.
Yes.
Okay, but that you have to explain that.
I think so.
You at the very least, you should have had, when the ship crashes, have like raptors leaving jumping into the water and leaving or something like that.
Something, or just claw marks over everything.
Yeah, something, because there's like a couple steps of math that you have to do to get to the idea that it's raptors that did it.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not the T-Rex, so anybody who thinks that, come on. T-Rex didn't do that. So anyway.
Right.
I like Malcolm's line here where he says, "Now you're John Hammond." I love that.
Yeah. But like, yeah, we've seen these things on an island, and so now it's like, well, what's that going to look like going down the street? I'm interested in that.
It's different,
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, and then of course, little visual pun there with the.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's great.
It's
the rabbit of it all.
The critiques of this film, some of them are valid, some of them are not. To me, the critiques I've heard are things like, "Oh, why do you have a whole other island?" Which to me is like, well, why not? Like,
yeah, it doesn't bother me.
It's weird because one thing I hear from people is essentially when you boil it down, it's not the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, my view is, well, if that's what you want, it's there. You've got it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any point in doing another one unless you're gonna shake the dice a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what makes this a world worth revisiting, as opposed to just doing karaoke again. Like even Jurassic World, to their credit, the first movie is not a karaoke remix of the first movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in other words, Jurassic has done better vis-a-vis legacy franchises than Star Wars.
Yeah. It's good. Good point.
Because both those movies came out a few months apart. Jurassic World was just a few months before Force Awakens.
Mm.
And I remember when Jurassic World came out, there was a lot of, it's just this first movie all over again. I'm like, it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
It's. I mean, obviously there's the connective tissue, but they're doing something different. They're doing something new that hasn't been done within this world, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
So this right here, this is the most quintessential Spielberg scene.
I mean, the suburbs with a dinosaur.
A dinosaur in suburbia.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it, but I'm enjoying it too much. I can't. I mean,
it really does feel like this scene alone was Spielberg's self-incentive.
Yeah.
To direct this movie.
This kid. It's kind of funny. He's got that 90s haircut too.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. What's funny is for some reason I just at a glance I thought the dad was Peter Coyote.
Yeah. I remember him kind of having that sense too. And then the woman too. I was like, is that Amy Ryan? But I guess it's too early for that.
Yeah, that would have been too soon for that.
Look, he's got that Tiger Electronics game on his dresser there.
State of the art.
Take me back. I do feel bad for this dog. This is pretty.
I feel like what happens to this dog was like a direct riposte to Independence Day from the previous year.
You're right.
Remember that they make a big show out of how the dog survives?
Yeah.
What's kind of funny is between Jurassic and Independence Day and this, Jeff Goldblum had this window where he was like one of the most bankable actors in the world.
Yeah, and these big blockbusters. Kind of
Right.
like Nick Cage, right? Also, where he was like, he's an action star now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a little bit of Peter Coyote vibe, right?
I totally see it, yeah. Why don't we see more of Peter Coyote, darn it?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I miss Peter Coyote.
Yeah.
Keys.
It's funny. I'm glad I got the picture. I couldn't remember. I mean, it's obvious so many people see it, but I couldn't remember if this was something they could clean up or if it was something that has changed the world. And there's a CNN report on it on the end.
There's
so
CNN, and then in the third one, you have Alan. By the way, I can hear the music right here. Mm-hmm. Again, the Jurassic theme, but it's again he's Williams is reorchestrating. He's doing some different stuff with it.
Yeah,
and it's just a little hint of it. But
I think that's a model, by the way. I was thinking about that last night.
The overhead shot.
Yeah, and just like a small car. And...
I would have to be right. I mean, they couldn't have built that whole thing.
I know. It looks pretty good.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Anyway.
So at the beginning of Jurassic 3, Alan Grant is at giving a seminar.
Oh man, I'll rewatch it.
You should. But he actually says, does anyone have any questions that don't have to do with Jurassic Park? And then a bunch of hands go down, or the incident in San Diego that I did not witness.
Right. That's funny. And Laura Dern is on a phone call or something in that movie, right? Or something.
She's in it at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
He goes to visit her because by this point she's married and has a kid.
Without Sam Neill?
Yeah, with somebody else.
What?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because they were like, Ellie should end up with... But I think Joe Johnston, who directed the third movie, found the age difference between them off-putting.
I remember Sam Neill said that also. When they were making the first one, but it never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Here, well, let's look it up. Look. Okay. Yeah, it looks like. Oh, okay. So it was like about 20 years or a little more of a gap there. So
that Joe Johnston, I remember him saying that that was the reason he didn't want to. He thought it made more sense for her to end up with somebody else. But yeah, she's at the beginning and then she factors in at the end. That's my point. So they do find a way to weave her in a way that it's not a featured role, but it's not insubstantial.
Right. And there's the writer.
That's David Koepp. I was about to say, yeah,
who's credited as Unlucky Bastard.
There you go. We also real quick we saw. I mean, we passed it, but Kathleen Kennedy was also among the people.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't see her.
People running.
I remember thinking it was kind of random that we watched this guy get killed. In previous viewings. And I was like, damn, that poor guy. And then you're like, when you find out that's actually like a gift from Spielberg to the writer, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he was also second unit director on this, David Koepp.
Yeah, for like 8 days.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because he had become a pretty, I was going to say prominent director, but he built enough of a rep that he could do that.
I'm sorry, wasn't it first unit? That's why I was reacting that way. And I think Spielberg had to go somewhere. He had a family commitment, and he was watching via satellite what he was doing.
Oh, there you go. He trusted him.
So he directed first unit for like 8 days on this movie.
Okay, so he was second unit, and then when Spielberg wasn't around, he was also on first. That's impressive.
Yeah,
didn't he do the movie The Arrival? Wasn't that David Koepp?
That feels like something in my mind somewhere.
Right, Charlie Sheen.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I remember that when I think of that big. Was that gas station ball that spins? I think of this movie.
That's right.
You don't see them a lot.
Are they around anymore?
I don't even know. Actually, yes. I have one not too far from me now that I think about it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I was also thinking it was funny too that everyone in a movie, whenever they get in their car, they always have this cool classics muscle car or something.
Uh-huh.
I was like, it'd be kind of funny if he had like a 1993 tan Hyundai or something, and he's just like, it only has a moonroof, It's like, they always have like the coolest cars.
I should clarify, the movie The Arrival of Charlie Sheen was directed by David Toohey, not David Kep. So
Oh, I see.
I don't want
Wow.
anybody sending me any angry, hateful emails. You know who you are. This is a nice shot right here with the T-Rex coming through the thing.
Oh, I missed it, but I saw there was like some sort of point of trivia where in San Diego, I guess when he's biting a street sign,
Okay.
no, when he's biting the traffic signal, apparently there's a sign at the right edge of the screen that says "No dinosaurs,"
Okay.
which I forgot about it and didn't even see it this time. So you can kind of imagine maybe they thought they just throw it in there for themselves. Also, there's something else I want to point out that I did not see that I'm going to look for this time. But when they're doing the CNN broadcast, that they're watching, apparently in the reflection, Steven Spielberg is sitting next to Jeff Goldblum eating popcorn. So we'll have to look for that this time.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know what's kind of interesting? I thought this was an interesting choice. So when this guy basically gets eaten by the T-Rex, the music is very triumphant. It doesn't.
Well, he had it coming. Come on.
Sure, but I just found it like kind of upbeat when he's just like watching this guy get eaten.
I think the film is taking the point of view that of the characters, which is that humans are the aggressors. We should just leave the animals alone.
Yeah.
And so, by virtue of that, Ludlow has always been just kind of weaselly, but when he goes after the kid,
Yes.
that's like a bridge too far.
Yeah.
So that's like the movie is passing judgment on him.
Yeah. Why, oh, why would he go down there?
Right?
Hello.
I mean, that very much feels like a screenwriting contrivance. Like you could see a scenario where Ludlow survived the movie, but they sort of decide like, no, this guy's he's got to get his.
Yeah, he's got to pay. Oh man, you would never. I don't even care how small that thing is. You would never find me chasing that thing.
Right?
Yeah, that little thing. Oh boy. What is it Goldblum said earlier? Mama very angry.
Mama's very angry. It's upset.
Oh boy.
Yeah, again, there's always like that one guy in these movies where you're just waiting to get his.
Uh-huh.
So it's for him. It's for this one. It's him, and then Vincent D'Onofrio in the third one, in the fourth one rather. Johnny Mustache Twirler in the fifth one. See, so right here, I like that Julianne Moore is integral here. I think that's good.
Dude, you're like repeating all the thoughts I had last night. Yeah.
Because it does tie together. I mean, it makes her a crucial part of it. That as I'm talking to you, that said, another version of this, you could have given this business to Roland.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's a nice reversal.
Yes.
Because she's hitting him with the trank before they can shoot him.
Yep.
Right. That's the whole. She wants to trank him, so he goes in.
Save it.
Yeah, and so if you give that to Tembo, that's a nice,
Good call, Zachy.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm thinking of that as I'm talking to you. Like, I like that they gave it to Julianne Moore. I think that's fine. But I also think that could have been a cool thing for Roland.
Yeah, instead of making him feel like this, he's an interesting character, but he doesn't feel like part of the. Like he should be on the poster. Per se,
comes to a place where he's like, these are beautiful creatures; they need to be preserved. He realizes that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it's corny, but even like you'd have a better version than this. But just like we're gonna go do this, and him like, how can I help?
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't have expected him earlier. To do.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. This led me to Google, why do tranquilizer darts have the little feather on the end?
Okay, I'm curious.
It has to do with keeping them level when they fly, but also, there's Spielberg. I see him with his jacket on.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's so funny.
Wow.
Reflection on the TV. How hilarious.
That's
He's like
fun.
crammed on the couch with everybody else.
Yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious.
And also they're bright colors because obviously something like a tranquilizer would be very expensive. And it's like, well, if you miss, you want to go find it and go get it again.
Now here's a little stick pin in time. The anchor on CNN is Bernard Shaw, who
Right.
is retired as of like 20 years ago or something. So
Wow.
a little moment in time.
Yeah. That's cute. Them asleep on the couch after saving. San
What a
Diego.
day. What a day they had.
Yeah.
Oh boy. See, I think
we get Hammond here.
I like that too. That again, they've woven sort of a redemption arc in for Hammond.
Yeah.
Especially given that this is the last time we'll see him, right, at all. I'm trying to remember what I felt watching this because I liked it when I first saw it. I was surprised that everybody disliked it because I saw it. I was like, oh, I really liked it. And I went opening afternoon, like before, Friday, whatever that was, Memorial Day, 97.
Mm-hmm.
But when the movie ended, I never thought like, okay, now Jurassic Park is over. I was like, well, there's going to be another one after this, So I'm wondering if that factored into my initial reaction where I was like, well, it's just one more adventure.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Because if this were like the end, I don't know, it may not be particularly satisfying, I suppose.
Right.
But I think by the way, here's something interesting, that the sound there of the pterodactyl, that's the sound designer. It's the sound of his dental floss dispenser.
What?
When he would pull it out real fast, it would go like that. So he recorded that and tweaked it, and that's the pterodactyl screech. And
How do those guys think?
How do they think of this stuff?
Artists. Those
Isn't that
guys.
hilarious?
Yeah. So was it Ben Bird or was it someone else?
No, it was not. But I mean, clearly he's from the Ben Burt school of unorthodox
organic
Foley.
sound.
Yeah. But I like I said, I've always had a soft spot for this movie, and I couch that a little bit by saying, well, yes, obviously it is not Jurassic Park because that was a singular experience which could never possibly be replicated in that way. What I've always appreciated about this film, and I think that what I've pointed out throughout, is just it's another visit to this world where we go on another adventure, but it's not the same adventure.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've watched this. You've revisited only a few times. I've watched this many, many times. Like I said, before we started recording, I had popped this on. I was like, oh, I just want to catch like a couple minutes of this before we talk. And I ended up just watching the whole thing. That's my relationship with this movie. Is whenever it's on, I end up watching it.
Yeah, I have to say, I actually really enjoyed watching it this time with you. And I think, I still sort of stand by it where I don't feel like the ensemble and the story is as compelling and fun for me. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it really is. Those are the things that are leading us to the next awesome moment. And the awesome moments in this are really good. So I could see myself definitely stopping on this, again, if I saw it on TV. And it is still kind of novel for me because it's not one that I'm super familiar with. So I mean, now it is because I watched it twice in 2 days.
Now you're done for a while.
It's kind of fun to not know it as well as the other and just be like, wait, what happens next? And kind of get pulled along by it.
Well, you know what this means. We're just we're gonna have to meet back up and do this for Jurassic Park 3.
I got to watch that again. So yeah, I'm into that.
The nice thing with that
Lars
one
Winter, I worked with that guy. The second assistant director.
Wow,
he's that's cool. Anyway. And Barbara Harris, by the way, I looked earlier. The ADR, the woman who does ADR that oversees every single movie, and I always look to see. Since I worked with her on one movie, I'm just fascinated with her enormous resume. And sure enough, she did this movie also.
Wow, look at that.
She's done everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you listening who were secretly hoping this would end with us at in a sword fight, Zorro style.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got to keep waiting.
Yeah. That'd be funny, actually, if we were in some sort of studio that we drove together and you had lost the valet ticket so we couldn't get it validated. And that's what sets off the fight that ends the whole podcast. You knew you had to hang on to that. That's all you had to do.
That's hilarious. Oh man! Well, we got more commentaries coming up soon. I mean, the nice thing is we've really been hitting that drum hard.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I hope people are enjoying listening.
Well, we get requests all the time, which is just super cool. And as far as what's coming up next, one thing I really want to do is Inception. And
yeah,
and that's, I don't know about doing that next, but I do want to do that before the end of the year.
All right,
because that's one of those ones that I feel like it's going to be a deep dive, but once we do it, we'll be glad we did it.
I think we're gonna have a blast doing that one.
So that's one I definitely want to talk through with you. But as far as what's next, I don't know. Send us your suggestions.
Yeah,
why do we got to do all the work? Maybe y'all listening, you should carry some of the weight too.
I second that.
We're sick of lugging your lazy butts around with us.
I'm just behind your shoulder going, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of that? But that wraps up our commentary track for The Lost World Jurassic Park. We will be back soon with our next regular episode. We got lots to talk about there. And then, of course, our next commentary track after that. Anything you want to hype up before we
Well, keeping in the Spielberg thread of things, my last episode of Puppy Dog Pals that aired was called Raiders of the Lost Bark.
Look at that.
And we've got a Sala analog in there and a couple quotes from the film, and that one was a lot of fun. So Disney Junior, Disney Plus.
There you go. And if you're looking for me, you can find me on Twitter at Zacky's Corner. That's ZAKIS Corner. And if you want, check out my website. Just add a .com to that. And we'll be back with our next regular episode next week. But as always, please go to iTunes and leave a review, leave a star rating. If you like what we're doing, if you don't like what you're doing, then just mind your own damn business. Keep scrolling then, obviously. Shoot us an email, moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast. Message us there. And on behalf of my partner, Brian Hall, my name is Zachy Hassan. This has been Movie Film Commentary Track for The Lost World. We'll be back soon. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time.